let me start and be very clear from the outset. I support housing. I support density. I understand the urgency of the housing crisis, and I recognize that younger generations, families, seniors, and newcomers are all looking for places they can afford to live. This is real, and it matters. But responsible growth requires more than good intentions. It requires planning, resources, and infrastructure that keep up with what we approve. New Westminster is already one of the most densely populated cities in all of Canada, second highest. That is not where we are heading. That is where we are today. And yet, the infrastructure needed to support that density has not kept up pace with the growth we already have approved. We have more than 90,000 residents and only one public high school. We're lacking elementary schools, we're lacking library space, we're lacking a fire hall, we are lacking green space. These are not optional amenities. These are core services that define whether a city is livable or merely crowded. At the same time, municipalities are increasingly seeing responsibilities downloaded from the upper levels of government without the funding or tools to support them. When housing targets, service expectations, and planning pressures are pushed down to cities like New Westminster, already the second most densely populated in the country, it makes it even harder for local governments to keep up with the basic infrastructure our residents depend on. Traffic congestion is already a daily reality across our city. In Queensborough, the West End, Connaught Heights, Sapperton, the situation is especially serious. The Queensborough Bridge is not sufficient for current demand, let alone additional density. This isn't just an inconvenience. It affects emergency response times, workers getting to jobs, and families trying to get home. I also want to address affordability because it is often used to justify rapid growth. Despite years of increased density, housing prices have not meaningfully come down. And at the same time, inflation remains high, the cost of goods is high, and everyday life is more expensive for residents. Simply approving more housing without the supporting infrastructure and broader affordability measures has not delivered what people were promised. This is not about saying no to housing. It is not about saying not without balance and not without accountability from senior levels of government. What I'm advocating for is a slower, more responsible approach, one that aligns housing approvals with the timely delivery of schools, fire halls, libraries, green space, and transportation improvements. Growth should be phased and guided by what our city can realistically support. Density must be matched with livability. Until there is a clear and credible commitment to fund the infrastructure that growth requires, I cannot in good conscience support moving forward as proposed. Our responsibility is not just to approve housing units, but to build complete communities. And right now, we are being asked to move faster than our city's foundations can support. We owe it to our current residents and to future ones to get this right, not fast, not blindly, but thoughtfully and responsibly. And I'll just finish with the last bit over here. Until density is matched with infrastructure, affordability, and support from senior governments, I cannot, again, in good conscience, vote yes. Thank you.